Welcome back to Investing in Trading Live, sponsored by Online Trading Academy. My name is Josh Lilquist, and boy, we're having a great time here today and having some fun talking about the financial markets. We wish we could be talking about sports the whole time, but as the financial markets this week, we have a lot of listeners helping them have smarter investing decisions, whether they're in their working years or during retirement. And we had a lot of people texting in and calling in this last segment. Congratulations to those of you that got set up for one of our investing classes here locally at our state-of-the-art facility. We got about 3 classrooms in here. Make sure to text the word investing to the number 210-210 for 2 seats for this investing class. Al teaches these. I teach these as well. And we really have a great time talking about how the market functions, how it works, but how you as everyday people can make smarter investing decisions, whether which account you're using, a trading account or a retirement account. So, Al, as we kind of talked about a little bit in the last segment, we talked about these other assets that people are using to have opportunities for income strategies during their working years. Well, there's also strategies for their retirement years as well. I call it the golden years. As everybody works all their life, 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week, sometimes 60 hours a week. A lot of people working a lot of hours over the course of their time, and they're trying to save for those golden years. It's unfortunate because some people, I'd say the majority of people, just don't make enough to save. We talked about that in that last segment, because they don't make enough to save for that retirement time and have enough to retire when they choose to retire. It's all about choices, and we talked about that in that last segment as well. But you help a lot of people that come to these investing classes that are getting near retirement, whether they're in their 50s or 40s, even 60s, that are just trying to save up for retirement, try to planning for retirement and have enough. But you're also helping people creating different strategies to hopefully protect that so it has longevity, but also strategies to build those accounts as well. But you have to use the proper assets to do that as well. Talk about those other assets that we're seeing a lot of people want to learn about, and also get into the strategies real high level on what people can do with their retirement accounts.
Okay, well, there was a lot there that you threw out,
wisely.
but kind of get back to that analogy I used of a person playing golf. You need different clubs for different parts of the course, and the same thing is true in investing. It depends on where you are, what you want, and that's a big part of it too. Everybody has a little different idea of what they want their future to look like, what they want their retirement to look like. But the important thing is that you identify that. And don't just look at what you have and then look at what average returns are and then determine what the way you have to live. Look at how you want to live, and then let's work backwards and determine the right assets and the right strategies to help you get the rate of return you need to get where you want to go. I mentioned that this year, 2022, things have changed. People got used to having positive returns every time they opened their retirement statements. They saw the numbers go up. This year, every time they opened their statements, the numbers went down. The average retirement account is down about 25%, or was down about 25% for 2022. That was kind of a slap in the face to a lot of people. So that, if you want to have a comfortable retirement, you want to actually have the retirement of your dreams, that's something that you have to work on. You can't let money be taken away from you. So protection is the number one thing that we teach. And I mentioned in that first segment that not losing is the first thing you need to learn. Then the making money part of it, the profiting part, that becomes the easy part. And what we've found, Josh, is that, and you mentioned it, you alluded to it, that a lot of people just don't have enough in retirement. We have a retirement crisis, and it's gotten worse because of inflation. It's gotten worse because the market took back a lot of what it gave people this year. Fidelity, in their studies, they found that during the third quarter of this year, the average 401k balance dropped an average of 23% from a year ago. And this is what I find interesting. Their IRA balances dropped nearly 25% year over year. 401ks have some real limitations as to what you can invest in and how you can protect your assets, but we do cover that in these classes. How to better manage your 401ks or 403bs or TSPs, whatever it is that you have. But the interesting thing to me is that the people that have an IRA where they have many more choices, those accounts were down more. What that tells us is that those people did not know what they were doing. They didn't have the right education to take advantage of the assets that are available to them. So if you're going into retirement, if you're in retirement, especially if you're in retirement and you still have your money in a company sponsored plan like a 401k or 403b, we feel the best thing you can do is to roll that into a self-directed IRA and then manage it in a way that takes advantage of the different directions the market can go, but do that with the proper protection in place, proper risk management. In those self-directed IRAs, you can utilize the markets that we referenced in that last segment, the futures market, the foreign exchange market, the options market, which gives you an opportunity to take just a small part of what you have put aside for retirement and then have it in the market in a way that will take advantage of that leverage. We have a strategy we call Strategic Investor, which is kind of our strategy for retirement, for wealth. And what it does is it looks at a couple of different components that are important. One is income. When you retire, what's the one of the biggest things that's gone from your life? It's the income from your job. That's what you use to live on, to pay your bills. Well, that cost of living is still there. And in fact, I think I read a study where the typical retiree spends maybe 105 to 110% more in retirement the first 5 or 10 years than they did when they were still working.
Fun.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole point in being retired. You want to have some fun. So having the ability to replace that income with something is important. That's one of the components we teach in retirement is how to generate income off of your retirement accounts while you're still growing your retirement accounts, while at the same time you're protecting your retirement accounts.
Yeah, to see more of those strategies and concepts, Al teaches investing classes here locally. You can just text the word investing to the number 210 for 2 seats. That's text investing to the number 210 for this class to see what this concept is Al is talking about. And you made some great points there, Al, about so many people that have these IRAs that don't have the proper education and skills to protect them.
Right.
And you kind of hit the nail on the head at the beginning. You could have threw a dart at a board and in 2019, 2020, and you should hopefully profit it because it was just so easy. It just went straight up. Well, now we have a normal market again. Things are going down. People are losing a bunch of money. It's because they haven't been educated. They haven't been educated on how to profit in down markets. There's strategies designed for that. But also, you talked about moving an account to a self-directed retirement plan, self-direct your IRA or 401k. And some people are like, well, I don't want to move all my money and manage it myself. Then I have to worry about that, and I have to be responsible. Well, you already are.
Right.
You're just letting a stranger hold it for you, tell you sweet nothings, keep it for the long haul. Stocks always come back over time. Well, when will they come back? If they even do, when you want to retire. So you lose all this time, which means your rate of return keeps getting lower and lower and lower because we see these drops in the markets. And then you get to that point where you're like, okay, I want to be able to retire. Well, now I can't because now I don't have to I don't have enough money to do the things I want to do. I was actually having a conversation with a good friend. He was talking about his dad, and he's like, my dad had a pretty good portfolio, and it's down. I think I said the average 401k and IRA was down between 20 and 25%. And he said, well, this market's continuing to go down. He's like, his dad said, well, I guess I'm going to have to work longer. And I think he was 67 years old or something like that. Who wants to have to work longer when there's alternatives out there? There's alternatives of things that you can do. So say you have a retirement account, there's strategies that Al was talking about with the options market to continue to build those accounts. There's strategies for that. There's strategies to have income during retirement. So that way, hopefully you don't have to have another job or continue working or work a little bit longer. Hopefully you can use what you have built up over several years in your working career to have the ability to stay home and do some of that stuff. All you need is an internet connection, a computer. Quite frankly, you can do a lot of this stuff from your phone.
Right.
I mean, technology is getting so good these days. So we'd get into all these different concepts about retirement accounts, 401ks, and IRAs in these investing classes that we do here locally. Al, you teach a lot of these classes, and you see a lot of different people coming in these classes. Some people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. I've even seen 90-year-olds come to these classes.
We have.
It's never too late, because if you don't start now, when will you start? What will happen if you do nothing? Absolutely nothing. You'll be in that same position 2 years down the road, 5 years down the road. Learn these concepts now and do that and have some fun with it. Text the word investing to the number 210 for 2 seats of this class. Text the word investing to the number 210, or call 888-682-6466. When you do that, you're going to receive a financial quick start kit that will actually help you get started right away. So, Al, in this last segment coming up here, I want to talk about why people come in again, but help people be inspired to do things a little bit differently than what you're told and conditioned to do. And that's going to be the key word, is being conditioned to do. Coming up next, don't what am I trying to say here, Al?
Don't leave.
Don't leave.
Don't change that channel. Don't change that dial.
Don't go away. We'll be right back.